And now I would like to introduce another champion of our club, Amy Haken, who stepped up to the plate to become our president this term. Amy Haken.
Do you have any inner fears? I sure used to. I was afraid to step outside my box, outside my comfort zone. Master of ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. I was extremely shy throughout my childhood. This was partly due to my family that was full of people that constantly interrupted me and didn't give me a moment to say a word. I was horrified when my mom or dad would say to my brother or sister, "Shh, let Amy say a word." And I was so shy and so shocked when she would do that, that I would just look at everyone and start in their face and sneeze. My shyness came into play with my first major job. This job required me to be on the telephone. Would you believe it took me an hour to take the courage to finally pick up the phone and make the call that I had to make? I was very, very, very shy. In a later job, I was working for Siemens. I had heard an organization called Toastmasters, and I was told that it might help me get over my shyness. I looked into it, but then I dropped it and maybe thought about it later, and at that point I didn't think about the idea of Toastmasters until quite a bit later. I took an advanced Java class. I'm a software engineer, with an instructor that was enthusiastic and spoke briefly about the members, being a member of Toastmasters. Sometimes he wore something Toastmaster related, and he had this really weird paraphernalia up on his desk. I had a few conversations with him about Toastmasters, and then I started to think more about joining the club. This Toastmaster is Stephen Moore. I searched on the internet and found that there was a club that met from 6:45 to 8:30 p.m. And that was close to the Altamont Springs post office, which was close by my house. I decided to give it a shot. I went to the meeting. The people at the meeting were extremely friendly. The meeting was very well organized. And I found that the speeches were very, very fascinating. During one of the meetings, I was asked my first table topics question. I stood up and froze, and then immediately had to sit down. That was the same thing I did during interviews. So I knew that this was stepping outside my box, and I really needed to join Toastmasters because it was very crucial for my growth. I couldn't join Toastmasters at this time because I was out of work. But I'll tell you, as soon as I did get a job, I made sure that I brought my check over and I said, I want to be a member. I want to step outside my box. Little by little, I gained confidence as I progressed through the Toastmaster program. I read my icebreaker speech, kind of like this in front of me, as well as the next 8 speeches. Jessica, the past president, at that time suggested that I try to do my speech from memory. Both Jessica and I remember, I looked at her squarely in the eyes and said, "No way." She even mouthed it at the same time. Another Toastmaster took me under his wings and gave me some hints in possibly memorizing speeches. He said that you don't want to really remember the facts and figures. You want to remember stories. Said that once you come up with a speech, just keep repeating it and repeating it and repeating it until it becomes ingrained in your mind. If you miss something in your speech, you're the only one that's going to know that. That Toastmaster is Ralph John Paul. That Toastmaster really taught me quite a bit. And I tried the techniques that both Jessica and Ralph taught me and suggested, and I stepped outside my box. From that point on, I kept trying to step outside my box, and I've been a member ever since. When I tell people that I'm shy and introverted, there are people that are really surprised when I tell them that. I'm very comfortable up here at the lectern. I no longer fear public speaking. I also don't mind speaking to people in public. I have volunteered to do software demonstrations at work. And now I have to say I start conversations much more easily with strangers. Everyone's definition of stepping outside the box is something different. Everyone has a reason why they join Toastmasters. Stepping outside my shyness box has been very monumental in my life, and I'm very, very thankful for Toastmasters. How do you step outside your box?
Thank you for that inspiring speech. Just goes to show you that if you step outside your box, you can overcome anything. However, I am interested. I have seen a lot of paraphernalia, but never on top of somebody's desk. I need to go to your ranch one of these weeks and see what you guys are up to in that trailer playing World of Warcraft with whatever paraphernalia you may have around. I want in on that one.